Hello everyone, this is the Prussian Prince with another Follow the Samurai Tournament match cast. This is the Chaos Riders Tournament round of 16 match between Vim of RTK Clan and Tung of ID. In this first game we'll be seeing them play against each other on Our Ridge Pass. Now, if you ask me, Tung in this matchup is favored because he is quite decent at Follow the Samurai, but let's go over the builds. So for Tung, well, what do we have? Well, let's see again. Okay, what is this madness? Alright, so the General Bodyguard looks like Command Gun General. Then we see 2 Yari Key, 1 rank 2, 1 rank 6 on the left flank. On the right flank, probably 2 more Yari Key, yes, 1 rank 2, 1 rank 6. So, symmetrical over there, then a Revolver Cav and an Imperial Guard Cav. Now, Revolver Cav, standard stuff, but also bringing an Imperial Guard Cav, it's getting juicy. And then we have a Saber Cav here as well. Looks like he split up his army in 2. On the right, we see a red bear with a black bear and a spear levy and a shogitai. On the left, we see a spear levy, shogun guard, infantry, white bear, and a shogitai. So very, very interesting split. Now, for Vim, what do we see on the field? Looks like a command general, full command. Then cav-wise, we have 4 Yari keys, all vanilla, and the revolver cav, as you would expect. Now, in terms of line infantry, we have a single marine, 150 range. Then we have a red bear here with suppression fire, pretty good stuff against rushes. And looks like how many red bears in total? At least 2, right? But I believe it's 3. Yeah, with this one also has suppression fire. Then we have some white bears as well on the field. We need to count them. Wait, it's 4 red bears actually. My bad, it's 4 red bears. Then I need to see the amount of white bears because it's difficult really. Too many units here. Way too many units. So 2, 3, 4 white bears. Okay, so I quite like this composition from Vim. It's very, very sturdy. I would personally use this build myself as well. But let's get to it then. Whoops. Don't want that to happen. And yeah, let's see. Looks like Vim is gonna make a pretty big blob here. Okay. So he's blobbing with his lines. That's strange here. He should really be going towards one side of the hill, like this one or this one, because he can isolate one of the flanks of Tung potentially, or even if he doesn't, he can get himself a better position up here. But sitting here in the middle, he's just gonna get surrounded. So I don't think sitting here is the best idea. Just like setting up a line like this would be much better. Just force Anlei off the hill here and just position like this. That would make his position so strong and Anlei would be hard-pressed to take it. Really. But Anlei is getting the surround. We'll see if he can actually execute the surround properly, because Vim may still win if Tung goes in piecemeal or doesn't time his attack correctly. But Tung is definitely preparing for an attack here. We see that Vim is repositioning his forces because he wants to make sure that Cav does not actually hit him. He has like all these lines right behind each other so that the Cav doesn't destroy him. And of course this marine here as well. So right now, this is a difficult attack for Tung, but it's definitely possible. I will see, because he's gonna go up here. This is where Vim is weak. He just, well, not necessarily weak, but we'll see. The spear levy is gonna take the volley. And now here comes Tung pushing here. And here's another thing with the blob that Vim has, which is an issue. He cannot kite whatsoever. That is a problem, of course. Now these units here are not really taking much damage besides the spear levy. The other ones are just now starting to take damage. Looks like suppression fire was popped on the units. Not on this side, there's no suppression fire, so that is a mistake by Vim not putting one of the suppression fire units here. Vim also making a mistake here, getting all his units charged. Well, not all his units, but like getting his red bears charged here. He should really prevent Anley from charging him. And now this revolver cap over here is a mistake. He should have kept the revolvers over here to deal with this blob, I would think. But this is also a pretty good move. Get rid of the saber cap. Now here he's gonna charge in with his Yariki outside, but Anley still has another Imperial Guard cap here. Looks like it's gonna get targeted though, but Vim is gonna lose this unit and he has nowhere to run. These two bear units here in the back are doing nothing for Vim. They should have turned around to fire a long time ago. This Royal Marine here not doing too much either. But these units are starting to fire, and on this side Vim's not doing too badly on this flank. And now Vim is... he should be doing something with his Marines, because they are not really shooting too much right now. This side is completely won for Vim, so he's turning around and he's getting a nice shot, nice volley here against the Shogunate Guard infantry. Very nice volleys here. So these units here are gonna die to the revolver cav. And this third unit here. But the problem for Vim is that he's gonna get charged in the rear. So he's going to reposition his lines here. But they really should have turned around long ago, the lines behind here, and fired at these cav units, because now the cav of Anley Tung is free to make sure that Vim can no longer run away. So this Marine is gone. But nice volley onto this revolver, making sure that it routes. But these units, this means that this unit is no longer firing at the Shogitai. So now it looks like, yeah, we need to see this unit turn around or just keep running, I suppose. The revolver cav here is still engaged, but it's fine. But this engagement here, this red bear is not in the forest, so the Shogunate Guard infantry should do all right. Now Vim is gonna have some nice lines of fire here, but he does not let his unit shoot. But he pulls away because he's afraid of the Shogitai, so the Shogitai is just absolutely gonna go down here. But looks like Anley Tung still has units behind Vim here, so that should be game over very soon. Yeah, with this red bear also around here as well. And now the general is dead for someone. Oh, not Anley Tung, because he has 30 out of 30. It was that unit over there. So Anley Tung took the game here, but it wasn't as clean as I would have expected. But it's still not easy to attack that position, because again you have multiple lines of fire. But you have all the time in the world, and obviously if you do it properly, the box cannot kite. But a box can work. But I still don't think it's the most effective strategy against like that kind of build. But still, it was interesting to see that. Fall of the Samurai box against Rush. Okay, you know, statistics. Yeah, Anley's revolvers did well. Vim's revolvers did well. Yeah, the two strongest units in Fall of the Samurai doing the best on each side. Yeah, you don't see that too often, right? Right? Just kidding. Anyway, that's game one. We'll see how game two goes. This is game two on Ikonora Village. Now this one, this map is quite difficult to play, actually, in Fall of the Samurai. Also in Shogun 2, it is quite a tricky map, to say the least. Line of sight blockers, hills, forests, elevated positions, lots of different stuff. But slow motion time. For Anley's build, we see, of course, the command gun Chen, which is normal. Then we actually see on the right flank 2 Yariki, 1 rank 6 and 1 vanilla this time around, a revolver cav, and a Shogunate Guard cavalry of all things. Wow. Wow. Well, alright then. I guess we're seeing that on the field. Now on the left flank we see Actually, in the center there is an Imperial Guard Cavalry. This is center left, I guess you could call it. But the far left, we have 2 Yarikis, vanilla. And infantry-wise, we see Shogunate Guard infantry with the Black Tortoise here. Now in the center, 2 Red Bears on the right flank. 1 Red Bear, US Marine here, and a Black Tortoise right here. Bringing the Black Tortoise with the elites is a good idea. For sure, because that gives the Black Tortoise extra morale to work with. Now for Vim, well, we see Command Gen, a Tosa 175 range, interesting stuff. 2 Yariki on the right as well, both vanilla. On the left, 2 Yariki vanilla. Probably a revolver cav somewhere that's hidden. Now we see a bunch of these white bears. So 2 white bears on the far left. And 2 white bears on the far right. Now I don't agree with this. I think the white bears should be in center and the red bears on the flanks in this scenario. But yeah, that seems to be the build of Vim. Probably just don't see the revolver cav right now, because I'm sure he has it. Now Tung was thinking about doing something crazy here, potentially, because had he gone in with the cav here, well, I don't think he was attempting to do that, but he just wanted to move his cav forward for a bit. But dojo-wise, well, I didn't go over dojos, not in this game and last one. Last game we had workshop and sword dojo. Okay, archery dojo, sword dojo, and shrine. Shrine definitely going for unlay. Sword dojo could potentially be contested, but the archery dojo is going to Vim because he has the 175, and the Tosa already getting 13 kills. And it needs to start getting kills, it needs to get value. But yeah, this marine here for unlay is gonna be potentially... Well, it definitely will be very important. But you can see right now that Vim is maneuvering his units around. Trying to get shots off with Tosas, but here's the problem with the Tosas. If they move up here, well, yes, Anlay can seize the archery dojo, but he will... I mean, the Tosas cannot push this side without opening themselves up to getting flanked by this red bear. And now we definitely see Anlay Tung pushing up slowly but surely with this US Marine. Ooh, if only there wasn't line of sight blocker here, we'd see this Yariki already get popped. But there is, and here we see the revolver cav of Vim, as I was talking about. I mean, definitely he would use a revolver cav, who wouldn't? Unless you want to lose, you don't use a revolver cav then. So yeah, this is gonna be pretty interesting. We see Anlay Tung moving up right there. And he's got these 2 units right here. This is a bit of a strange formation because if the Shogunate Guard infantry gets shot at, the red bear will take damage too. And the red bear is... yeah, this... not too sure about this position. I would have put the red bear somewhere here. Or something like that. Would be much nicer, because there's also a Yariki that can potentially come around like this. I know this is like really stretching it, but the Yariki could come in from this angle and could do some damage. But still, a better position would definitely be here with that red bear. And yeah, Anlay is in a defense position over there, which is fine. Looks like he might be trying to go downhill here. US Marines pushing the center of Vim, which does allow Anlay Tung to control the dojo. Now the Tosa is going to move up, and it could potentially get a shot here on the Black Tortoise. I think it actually will. It definitely should get a shot off on them. Now here we see the engagement. Anlay Tung could potentially get charged here, but the Yarikis might get shot at. Actually, the US Marines do not get a shot off, so Anlay's Marines get charged. This could be bad for him if there was a follow-up from Vim, but there is no follow-up. All he has is just Cav here. So Anlay already pulled out his Marines. He only lost a few men. Now his Yariki got rid of 1 Yariki, so this is a cost-effective trade for Anlay. Just barely though. A little bit more and it would not have been that cost-effective for him. Naval bombardment though, not hitting much because Anlay pushes the Marine forward. He's gonna keep the Yariki here, and it looks like Vim's gonna try to the same thing, but he decides against it. With one unit, but the other one, he forgot to move back. No, he did not. Tosa getting some more kills actually on this Black Tortoise, so getting more value. But again, it's really just Black Tortoise, and now killing a few of the Shogunate Guard infantry, the really good stuff. So yeah, the Tosa can definitely be a huge annoyance, for sure. US Marines here in position to fire very soon at this Red Bear. Vim needs to be careful. Bombardment on the Marines again, and with that, Vim was deciding about going there, but Anle needs to pull back this Marine before he gets hit by the naval bombardment, because that would be awful for him. Vim is trying to cover this angle as well. And here comes Vim, but this is not a great move. He might actually connect with the US Marines, and his Revolver Cav is moving up, but this is not the greatest position. So Vim is going to end up losing another Yariki here. Not trading too well here. Yes, he took a few out of the US Marines, but it's not worth it. Lose 2 Yariki for that. And he only killed one of Anlei's Yarikis, I believe, but I could totally be wrong. So there's one here. There's one here. There's another here. So there's at least 3 Yariki, which means that the 4th Yariki is still alive. I mean, it was only the 4th Yariki died. That's what I'm trying to say. Sorry, casting at night. Quite tired. So it's difficult to keep focus. But Vim again doing a strange thing here, because the Tosa is right behind the White Bear, which means the Tosa is not going to be able to get shots off first. This seems to be a pretty calm game, so I'm going to just speed things up. Oh, the Revolver Cav here. Position. Very nice position here by Anle. Able to destroy the revolvers of Vim. Or at least do a lot of damage. Very well done by Anle there. These Revolver Cav had taken significant damage. Here comes Anle straight on in with the Yariki. This is not the greatest move, because this Yariki already losing about half its men before charging in. Whoops. Strange camera movement, not MLG. But yeah, now the Yariki is gonna get engaged by Vim's general. And this White Bear should start pulling back, because then the Black Tortoise is gonna get a volley off. Ooh, this could be painful, because the general of Vim is taking massive damage here, and Vim's own unit is firing into the blob, which, look, this may have actually paid for itself, the Cav, because it took down almost half the general and 50 men of a White Bear, so it wasn't so bad. That trade was nearly worth it. I still would say that it wasn't worth it, but it was close to being worth it for Anle. Quite close. If the general of Vim actually had a gun, then I would put the advantage in Anlei's favor from that engagement, but as he doesn't, no, I wouldn't say so. Now here comes Vim up here in the center, but this is not the greatest timing. His Cav is going to die before the lines get in, and yes, the lines are now going to get in and fire, which is going to be very painful for Vim, of course, but ooh, actually it's really painful, because Anle did not pull back in time, so he lost a lot of men. That totally wasn't so bad for Vim at all. But still, Anle is doing quite well here, even though his Marines are down to 50 men, which is a huge problem for him. I'm still going to fast forward the game. So Anle's got his position over here. This Red Bear with the Yariki should be able to take on this White Bear in case there is an engagement. But yeah, this game really is taking quite long at the moment, so that's why I have to fast forward it. But yeah, losing all of these Marines, I think this was not actually worth it for Anle now that I look over that engagement again. The last engagement. Because yeah, Vim lost a lot, but he got a lot of value out of it as well. Like, doing so much damage to, what was it? This Yariki rank 6, and also to this Marine. So that was not so bad at all for Vim. But big problem for him is that he doesn't really have cav left. So that is what he traded for that. So it's really hard to say if that was worth it or not. But I guess like it wasn't so bad for Vim at all. It was decent trade. But Anling is now pushing into the archery dojo, and there's nothing that Vim can do. Even though he has his Tosa, he's trying to push the sword dojo with it. But the thing is, he has repositioning the Tosa. But what can it really do? It's repositioned on this side. Yeah, it's in the forest, but looks like it might actually get a volley off onto this black tortoise. Ooh, pretty big volley here. Well, only 10 men killed, then he needs to be careful with it, because if it gets charged, then that's it for that unit. But now it's turning around to get another volley off onto that red bear, or it's turning around to get a volley off onto that black tortoise, which it may or may not get a volley on. Looks like it is unable to get a volley on it. Here comes the engagement, so it looks like Anli just comes rushing in with all his cavalry on this flank, because he knows that Vim doesn't have much cavalry left, so he's not really mobile. And now this gives Anli a huge advantage on this side, because he's going to get rid of 2 line units relatively easily. And this Shogunate Guard infantry should trade very well against the Red Bear. Now Anli is making a mistake here, because there's 3 lines against 1, so this is not a great engagement for him. And look, there's even line of sight here. He did not realize that, it would seem. Now Shogunate Guard Cav of Anli is engaging the Yariki of Vim, so Shogunate Guard Cav should do very, very, very well right there. And yeah, Anli is starting to flank around with his Imperial Guard Cav and Revolver Cavalry, and now Vim is gonna be in a huge amount of trouble as Anli is just pushing forward with his lines. It looks like he's gonna get his Imperial Guard Cav to actually charge into the White Bears, and the Revolver Cav is just going to end up firing at the Red Bears, which is alright. There they are, they're positioned here, so the Red Bears will take some damage. Yeah, these units are gone, but Anli's units are also taking some time. He got what seems to be a really nice charge off onto this White Bear, but actually into 2 White Bears. It connected with 2 White Bears, so this Yariki is getting so much work right now, and because of that, Anli might end up finishing these 2 units off potentially, but I don't think so. Now that the Yariki is gone, he should actually keep his units, but here, Anli's Shogunate Guard Cav is, or actually Imperial Guard Cav, still on the field. Revolver Cav just now dying, but the Revolver Cav is just being so annoying that Vim's lost these line units over there. So many line units for Vim died on his right flank. Very cost-effective engagement for Anli Tung there. And now Vim has his Tosa left. Yeah, it's killing the Black Tortoise. But he can't win the fight in the center. He cannot win the fight on his right flank. And he cannot win the fight on his left flank either. Well, actually he might, because this Tosa rifle is gonna finish off this Black Tortoise soon. But actually, if he has to turn around, then the Red Bears will finish him as well. No, because these units came back for Vim. But still, he cannot win this engagement here. And it looks like Vim's general is actually on foot. I never actually realized. He must have activated stand and fight. Well, I didn't see it. So that is actually pretty funny, if you think about it. Let's look at statistics. Definitely interesting. Alright, so statistics. Anli killing more, not losing as much as expected. Kills Revolver Cav and Shogunate Guard Cav. Well, yeah, your most expensive units did a lot. US Marines not so much though, because they were kind of the sacrificial lamb this game. Just baiting Vim's units. Tosa getting 257 kills. That's a lot of kills actually. But I would argue still not worth it, because it was a lot on Black Tortoise. Now, where's the Vim's units? You can see it didn't really do much here, especially the Cav. Ugh, poor Cav. So that's game 2. Match point for Anli. See you in game 3. Third game between Vim and Anli Tung on Nishizawa Valley. A crazy map for sure. It's gonna be so unbalanced, and there's like you really have to go up to the hill on this map, or you have to make sure you control at least one dojo, the lower dojo. If you don't want to go uphill, that is. So you really need to pick your fights very, very well on this map. As we load into it, and there we go. Now, let's just look at the map for a second. Slow motion time. And yeah. We have Shrine on the field and Farmhouse. So what I would do... Well, first let's go over the builds. Anley has Command Gun General. We see a lot of cav here, as is typical of this map. It's like 4 Yari keys, I imagine. Yes. 2 vanilla, 1 rank 1 and 1 rank 6. Then a revolver cav on that flank. Saber cav over here, and no Imperial Guard cav this time around. At least from what I can see. Very, very interesting stuff. Cyril is only level 2, so I guess he only has gun. Very, very cheap general. Now, for the rest of Anley's units, we see 2 Red Bears on the left. Black Tortoise with the US Marines 150 range here. White Bear 150 range here. I do not agree with this unit. No White Bears 150, please. Not efficient in my opinion. 2 Black Tortoise here and another Red Bear. And actually 2 Red Bears on the right flank. Okay. Still, 2 150s on this map is quite a lot unless you really have a plan. And this plan does not go well with 2 150s. Unless, of course, you can get the hill, which looks like Vim is allowing Unlay to get. So Vim has General here. Command General. Cavwise with Seer Revolver. 2 Yari Key. 4 Yari Key looks like. 1 is rank 2. So the problem for Vim here is that Anlay Tung has the rank 2 general, which gives Anlay a lot more funds to work with, essentially. Anyway, the rest of Vim's units. 150 range Royal Marines, then a Red Bear suppression fire. How many Red Bears? I'm just gonna have to count. 1, 2, 3, 4 Red Bears in total, and probably the same amount of White Bears. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. Exactly, 4 Red Bears, 4 White Bears. Looks to be the Vim thing to do. And of course the Royal Marines, which I should mention. And let's hit play. So yeah, super, super easy. Like, this build from Vim, I don't think it can be any more standard. 1 150, plenty of lines, a revolver cav, and 4 Yari key. I don't think it can get any more standard than that, really. And of course, his Red Bears have suppression fire, really good against rushes. And already we see Anlay Tung taking a trade here. 17 kills already on this Red Bear and still doing damage to it. 26 kills. He's really pestering Vim with this unit. 26 kills already for free. Just awesome trade, but he needs to be really careful because he doesn't have enough range for this Royal Marine, basically. Now Anlay needs to reposition these Red Bears here because one is facing the shrine. That's not what you want to do. Put them like this, I suppose. But yeah, Vim is not going to be able to cut it here. He's not going to be able to charge uphill. It's going to be very, very rough for him. I don't see this happening. But who knows? He might be able to pull it off because Anlay is not in position on his right flank. The Yari keys are totally getting around. Then again, Shrine and Farmhouse for Anlay, so he can definitely do some crazy things here. Looks like Vim is going to try and position himself in this forest here with 2 Yari keys. And he could run back if he wanted to, this area, but... And looks like that's what he's going to do, but Anlay might actually catch him. This is going to be quite close here, but I think Anlay will actually catch at least 1 Yari key here. No, he does not want to go for the fight because he sees that Vim is sending everything he has to this engagement. And of course, Vim could have just gone for a downhill. Actually, would have been an uphill charge this way if he wanted to, so... But yeah, Anlay did not have the numbers necessary there. to be able to start that aggressive engagement that he was thinking about. But still, it's gonna be really difficult for Vim to do anything here, because Anley has all the dojos. He gets a really nice shot off into this red bear as well. 36 kills, and of course then we have the kills on the general of Anley as well. So Vim is already losing men for no reason, and this is quite significant stuff. I mean, 36 kills from US Marines and 26 kills from the general. That is pretty important stuff, because this means that these white bears and red bears will not have enough men to fill the front ranks very soon. So that is going to be very, very rough for them. I mean, look already. This unit, for instance, it has only a couple of extra men, so one volley and it will not be able to cover its front line. So down to 114, and this one not so much, but still. These units really, really close to that. Now this could be a mistake from Vim if he pushes up too far, but it looks like he might actually get a shot off. Nope, he does not. Has no line of sight. And now Vim's gonna continue moving around his cavalry. But yeah, the Royal Marine here is in a little bit of a dangerous spot, because had he moved up further, the US Marine of Anley would have actually been able to shoot it down and potentially end its life. Because what Vim's doing here is, again, very risky, because his Royal Marine is in the water, so it's moving slowly. And then Anley is not moving on water, and he has the farmhouse, so Anley's units are quite a bit more maneuverable if you think about it right now. Especially the Cav. So yeah, you really don't want to give Anley movement bonuses. Royal Marine's pushing up again, and this is not as risky for Vim, because again, 150 against 125, but had the US Marines been there, this totally would have been difficult. Now I think what Anley should have done really is just mirrored the Royal Marines of Vim with his US Marines. I think that would have been the best choice. Because then he would lock down the map for Vim. Now this could be a problem, and Vim could push through here with Cav if he wanted to, and then go for a rear charge on the units of Anley, but he would also be showing Anley what he'd be doing. Okay, so looks like Vim is making a huge blunder here, because he moved up too far in water, so now he's taking massive casualties, and looks like Anley is going to take the downhill charge on him. The revolver cav here are not in the best situation, and oh, GG is called, so it appears that Vim does concede defeat. And really he wasn't gonna win that. He was charging uphill into lines and cavalry, which were like superior to him. And he didn't even have the first shot. With 150 range, he did not have the first shot against 125, which is pretty crazy, but that really is what water does to you. And this is a perfect game by Anley. 0 losses, 206 kills. Pretty good stuff. Yeah, look at the kills. The Marine and the Cav were already so low. If you look here, sort by lost. Yeah, these Yarikis already took significant casualties, and the revolver cav as well, before actually getting into the fight. So this is significant stuff. And of course, a lot of men lost overall in the lines of Vim. So really, he didn't even have the dojos. So I suppose he could have played longer, but he had maybe like 5% chance of winning, if that. But anyway, it looks like it's going to be a 3-0 for Anley Tung. Pretty swift and not too difficult, I should say, for him. But anyway, that's the match. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe. Follow me on social media. I'll see you next time.